Hello guys and welcome back to Let's Play Legacy of Kain, the Soul Reaver 2. I am Kulkin Dragoon, and in the last episode we got unlocked the power of the Fire Forge. We managed to begin our journey back to the Seraphim strongholds to attempt to regain the Heart of Darkness the Seraphim took from Janos. And we discovered that Raziel himself killed Janos Aldrin. Yeah. Come on. Being attacked on all sides. Just people stop shooting at me. We found out that Raziel was the one who attacked and killed him. Raziel's Saravan self. We should specify that. And so we're on our way back, as I was saying, to the Seraphim stronghold. We made it all the way back here, where the Elder God merely told us that we have failed him. And Raziel points out that it seems that no matter what he does, he fails everybody in every single one of his times. Granted, we don't really know too much about his Seraphim self, but he points out that he fails under Kain and was killed and reborn as the Soul Reaver. And now the man, the god creature, who was there when Raziel was reborn as a I'm gonna get my health back before I go back down there. Alright guys, sorry about that. The game crashed on me again. It's gonna become a immersive currency, so it's more annoying every single time. At least that's only happened to me, I think, 3 times during this LB. I still have no idea why the game just does it, just decides to spontaneously stop. But well, now we've got our health is back up to full, we've still got our Flame Reaver, and so now we can kill us some demons, shall we? Three of them.
What a fool.
Okay, 2 down, 1 to go. There he is. Ha! Made it. Don't have much health left. Some of you guys may be wondering why I'm using the Soul Reaver instead of trying to actually get the souls for myself. And the main purpose is that, like, those demons there are really, really tough to fight. And considering the fact I don't have a weapon, I'm about to die again. The Soul Reaver is basically the best weapon to use against them, and the Fire Reaver even more so. So, one can get you to the other. It's easier to just use the Reaver to kill them off, because they will chase you back into the Spectral Realm. And even in the Spectral Realm, although you have the Soul Reaver and it's pretty strong, I think allowing the Soul Reaver to devour souls allows it to become more powerful. And so it's a lot easier, I think, to try to deal as much damage or do as much. Would you stop doing that? Make this more difficult. Makes it a little bit easier in terms of just overall usage. Leave me all alone. None of you are important. You guys notice that? There isn't even a bridge across there. Is there a Reaver there? Alright, making our way, making our way, making our way. Why, is there another one that went by here lately? Was it Kain? Is Kain following me again? He's always watching me. Sorry about that. Again, had the same problem. Game decided it wanted to crash on me. I'd fix it if I knew what was wrong. It's getting very frustrating on my end. I'm trying to show you guys what's going on here in the game, and the game's like, and right now it's a good time to stop. So, we'll keep trying to go here. I'm running dangerously low on health again. Another recurring trend, it seems. Maybe it'll last long enough to get back to the Seraphon Fortress. Look, I made it. The Seraphon Fortress. I can see it. Save points, please. I must use the save point before anything else happens. I have to use it. What you guys didn't see is every single time the game has crashed, I have to go back to my last save point, which was in the underground chamber. And so I have to go all the way back through fighting a couple of things that are very, very frustrating to fight. Come on. Alright, where is the fire one? That's light. Well, I am gonna need light eventually. Would you stop it? Yep, this one over here is fire. The annoying thing about this is that the sorcerers, all they ever do is run away from you. Which is just playing off a pain in the rear just to try. I think it's just like, nope, 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 nope. We aren't gonna let you hit us. We're just gonna run away from you the whole time. I'm just going to ignore them. Behold the power of fire. I melted the ice. Of course, now, unfortunately, I need to give up my fire Reaver because I need to activate the gem. In order to activate the gem, would you guys leave me alone? I am trying to infiltrate your fortress. Jeez, oh, Pete, it's like they don't want me to go inside or something. Come here. Come here, my little light Reaver. Oh, doesn't matter. Still got it. Of course, now the annoying thing is they're going to keep throwing this crap at me. There's one. I think the game glitched that one over there now. There we go. Now, because we're melted the ice, we can open the doors to the Seraphon stronghold. Here's Raziel. Doesn't work quite as well as here's Johnny. Here's Raziel. Hey, look, you're guarded. All the way to the underworld. Yes, yes, yes. The door's going to close behind me. I know. I'm busy. It's not much more of the game. I'll probably just use this episode to finish the game up. There's not much left. At this point, I'm not really worried about my health. You guys will see why soon.
Seize him!
I win.
Suddenly and inexplicably, I discovered the Reaver suspiciously laid across my path. Again, I sensed nothing of that temporal distortion, the peculiar sense of displacement I had felt when I encountered the Reaver in William's chapel. Cornered here with the blade, I suffered the same nameless dread that I had experienced when Janos first presented the Reaver to me. I felt at once repelled by the blade, and yet overwhelmingly compelled to seize it.
So, Raziel, here we are finally. You have no choice but to confront me now. And I am not so foolish as I've let you believe. We have business to conclude.
You knew I would lead the Seraphim to Janos, you vile bastard. You've been orchestrating my every move. My destiny is an amusement to you.
It was fun while it lasted. I think not, Raziel. Malik, do not let this creature leave. He poses a danger to the circle. Poor, deluded Raziel. Did you somehow imagine you had the guile to change history on me? I'm the time streamer. I knew your every intention before you did, you imbecile.
Lord Mobius, there is trouble within. The circle is under
Hold
attack.
fast, Malik. This one is the real danger to us.
What are you trying to concoct here, Mobius?
You toxic creature. Did you imagine I'd simply allow you to run loose? Corrupting everything you encounter.
I admit that I've underestimated you to this point, Mobius. It's a mistake I won't repeat.
Wrong again, Raziel. Now, Malik. Bolt the door.
Using his staff to disable my Wraith Blade, Mobius effectively disarmed me, leaving me with only one choice of weapon. And yet I confess, it was not the lack of options, but blind rage that made me take up the Reaver. In my fury, it felt as though my hand had acted of its own will. And now, that same hand clutched the hilt with unyielding strength, and I felt a constrained tingling, a remote but palpable sense of longing, as the disabled Wraithblade tried vainly to embrace its physical twin.
Alright guys, now we are almost at the end of the game. You'll kind of see some of the ironies of what's going to happen and the reason why it's kind of a boss fight, but not really. You guys will see why here in a minute.
come to take your revenge, demon?
Back to hell with you!
I recognize these two as my former brethren, in life as Sarafan, and in unlife as Kain's vampire sons. Melchiah and Zephon, the weakest of Kain's brood. These bastards had no idea what future lay in store for them, how they would become the very thing they so despised. The Reaver hummed with ravenous anticipation. Janos had called it a vampiric blade, endowed with the power to drain its victims of their lifeblood. I was eager to see what the Reaver would do to these two.
I see, I got hit. If you can kind of see in my health, I'm actually not losing any health when I get hit. Well, I'm losing health, but I'm regaining it back almost instantaneously thanks to the Soul Reaver. So this is one of those things where I'm like, it's kind of a boss fight, because I mean, if you guys haven't already guessed it, I mean, it's not going to be much of a spoiler, you're going to be seeing it here in the next couple of minutes anyway. You're going to fight all of your brothers, your vampiric brothers, from the first game. And the irony is, as Raziel himself is going to put it, that, no, you can't eat their souls either. You have no need to. But, the irony, as you guys might have already guessed it, how did they all die?
As Melchiah and Zephon fell before my blade, I felt the Reaver's bloodthirst as keenly as I ever had when I was still a vampire. I could sense the boundary between us dissolving. The Reaver was consumed with my rage, and I was intoxicated by its bloodlust. The blade had a vitalizing effect on me. My physical energy no longer decayed over time, and the wounds inflicted by my foes healed almost instantly. The Reaver had made me invincible.
So, like I said, kind of boss fight, kind of not. But, yeah, so, like, kind of the irony in the game, if you want to look at it, is everything comes full circle. Kain will... That's not the right way. I thought that was the right way. Kain will one day resurrect them as vampires from their tomb, and as you probably have already guessed, Raziel is going to put them in their tomb. All of them. So the irony is the time loop that is created that Raziel will kill them, so they can be reborn, so that Raziel can do everything and then kill them again, and so you can go back here and kill them.
Have you come to reclaim the monster's black heart?
You'll have to get to us first.
My former brethren, Duma and Rahab, confronted me next. This all seemed so elegantly choreographed. Exhilarated by the Reaver, I was drunk with revelations. I could finally appreciate the delicious irony of Kain's blasphemous private joke, and I reveled as I colluded with him across the centuries. For it was I who put these bastards in their tomb, thus providing the corpses for Kain to raise as his vampire sons a millennium from now.
Hee 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 hee. Well, as long as I keep getting hits in. I guess Abhor. It's not really like it's gonna make a big difference at this point. As it was foretold, and Raziel's history will come full circle.
Get back to the pit you crawled from, demon.
And here at last was my brother Tyrell, who along with Duma would bear me into the abyss without questioning Kain's command. So dutiful and righteous, even as a vampire. I guess some habits die hard. The vampire Tyrell had eluded my vengeance. The Sarafan Tyrell would not.
Down. But only one remains, I believe. The last brother.
So, vampire, here we are. You've destroyed my brethren, and now you've come for me. You'll find I'm not such easy prey. I don't want to kill, but I will if I must. Return the heart to me, and we can end this now. So, you've come to avenge that filthy parasite and reclaim his foul heart. You're a righteous fiend, aren't you? Apparently I am. No, vampire. This is where it ends. But you won't be leaving this room. Now, let's finish this. I'll make it mercifully quick. As you did for Janos? No, that beast had eluded us for far too long. It would have been a shame to end him too quickly. It's ironic, really. The great Janos Ordrin turned out to be no challenge at all. Thanks to you. Did you hear his cowardly screams when I tore that black heart out of his carcass?
So in case you guys haven't guessed yet, there's plenty of symbolism in this room all on its own. The snake, if you notice the symbol on the floor, the snake in the circle eating its own tail. You could argue that's representative of what's going on right now. Two Raziels from two different points in time, battling it out. In other words, the snake eating its own tail. And the history comes full circle. The most powerful of the Seraphim priests falls to himself. This is one of those annoying fights. To me personally, like if they had put, because like I can block 2 in the game. I haven't really been showing it off that much because it's not really all that easy of a thing, in my opinion, anyway, to try and use. The biggest problem I have in the game is that you end up with characters like Raziel here, who's the final enemy you fight in the game. I'll let you guys know that now. The problem is that Raziel, almost every time you attack, is going to block. The annoyance, if you guys haven't guessed yet, and you've kind of seen it throughout the game when you have enemies that block, is that there's no way in the game to break the block. Now, if there was a way in the game to break the block, and they could break your block, then I would have almost no problem with the blocking mechanic. But the problem is the fact that since you don't have a way to break the block, they don't have a way to break the block, fights like this kind of end up being partially, or almost completely, stalemated and logged and dragged out. Sideways, Raziel.
I renounce you. So it ends. My history comes full circle. Sensing its twin, the Wraithblade uncoiled itself from me, and instead wound lovingly around its former self. I felt its grip loosen, and as the blade left me, its absence chilled me more than its presence ever had. A foreboding sense of emptiness and loss stole over me, and a terrible revelation gathered like a storm at the edge of my awareness. With all other foes exhausted, the conjoined blades turned themselves on me, and I realized, finally, why I had sensed nothing when Janos offered me the blade. The Reaver was never forged to be a soul-stealing weapon. The ravenous, soul-devouring entity trapped in the blade was, and always had been, me. This is why the blade was destroyed when Kain tried to strike me down. The Reaver could not devour its own soul. The paradox shattered the blade. So, this was my terrible destiny. To play out this purgatorial cycle for all eternity. I could not bear it. Despair overwhelmed me. You. Are you enjoying this game? Don't fight it, Raziel. Give into it. Was this your destiny for me all along? Trust me. I felt myself weakening, unable to hold on any longer. The Reaver was too strong. The compulsion to simply let go, too great. And then, a growing sense of vertigo and the familiar displacement. The paradoxical moment when my twin soul hovered both outside and inside the Reaver blade. This was the instant, the glimmer of temporal distortion Kain had been counting on all along. This was the edge of the coin, the minute flicker of probability upon which Kain had gambled everything.
Now you are free to reclaim your true destiny, Raziel.
Behind Kain's eyes, I could see new memories blooming and dying as history labored to reshuffle itself around this monumental obstruction. And I could see by the dawning horror on his face that perhaps we had strained history too far this time. That by trying to alter my fate, he may have introduced a fatal paradox.
My God. The Hilden. We walked right into their trap. Raziel, Janos must stay dead.
But Kain's warning was lost as I slipped into the spirit realm, too weak to maintain my physical form. And there, waiting for me as always, was the Reaver, the Wraithblade, my own soul, twinned and bound eternally to me. And I realized that I could never escape my terrible destiny. I had merely postponed it. History abhors a paradox.